Hey guys, did you know that I have a Patreon where you can support me plus get awesome rewards and lots of exclusive videos just for patrons? Or if you're thinking, but Julian, I want to get more bang for my buck, then you can head on over to my Redbubble, where you will find all kinds of interesting designs with new ones appearing regularly. Check this one out. And now, enjoy the video you're about to watch. Hey guys, it's me, Julian Greystoke, and Jane. I'm wearing my salt shirt, but this time not for particularly any reason. It's just because I was wearing it in another video and I was too lazy to go change it because my light is like literally right in my doorway. It's blocking my way and I don't feel like moving it. So we're wearing the salt shirt. And today I just wanted to talk to you about a book that I just finished as of recording this, and so I didn't even write down any notes. So I'm going to try to do this sort of impromptu and see how that goes. But I just finished reading, finally, The Haunting of Hill House. Finally got on this after Netflix put out their latest series, which I watched all of, and I thought it was okay. I decided I should finally bite the bullet and read the original Haunting of Hill House. I had seen the terrible, terrible movie that involved Owen Wilson a while back, and that put me right off of The Haunting of Hill House. I was like, I don't want to read this if this shit movie is based on that. So I didn't even think about giving it a chance, and then watching the Netflix series, I was like, okay, well maybe this could be good. I'll give it a try. It's not super long. So, and that was around Halloween, so I went to my library, and other people had the same idea apparently, because I had to wait. I did finish it in like a day. I listened to it while I was at work. So what is it about? The Haunting of Hill House is about a house that is probably possessed and evil. Just the house itself. And this doctor guy gets a couple people who are supposed to be, like, sensitive to this sort of thing. I'm going to call them force sensitive because it's kind of what's going on. People who have experienced paranormal things in their life, he gets them together and he's like, we are going to spend some time at this haunted house and document what we find. By the way, he's not actually very good at doing that. I have questions about this doctor's credentials. But anyway, they go to the house, and it's a very strange house. Like, at first, it doesn't even feel evil or ominous. They get there, everything seems fine, but it's weirdly put together. Like, there are rooms inside of rooms so that there's no windows to the outside, and there's, in the kitchen where the housekeeper comes and goes, she's put in multiple doors so she can escape in any direction if she needs to, and they're like, this is weird and suspicious. And then they get to their rooms, and their rooms feel kind of gross, like they don't like their rooms. They just kind of have this visceral, I don't like it in here reaction to their bedrooms. So their initial reaction to the house is, this is a really weird house, but whatever. But then they have to stay there and things start happening, especially to our viewpoint character of Eleanor. I think it's Eleanor. It is Eleanor, isn't it? Nell. Nell is our viewpoint character. Things start to happen to Nell, and it just kind of goes from there, what all happens to her and her eventual fate at the hands of the Hill House. So, as I said, I did like this story. I was pleasantly surprised. I was very prepared not to like it. It is older, and it is, you know, it's got a good reputation, so a lot of times I end up not liking those things, you know, because I'm terrible. But I enjoyed it. It was very atmospheric. I was never scared. There was no point at which I was scared, which I'm hard to scare, so that's not that unusual. But it was very atmospheric, and I did enjoy the characters. I liked following Nell. I liked her friendship with Theodora. I liked the way they played off of each other when the evil of the house wasn't interfering with their beautiful friendship. Is it Theodora who might be a lesbian? I could see it. It wasn't as overt as I expected it to be. I remember that one of the girls, I think, was like maybe a lesbian, and I was waiting for it to be more like obvious, but it wasn't. To me, it could have just been a girl friendship. The character of Luke was pretty disappointing. He is one of the people who like owns the house. He's like this young guy who's gonna inherit the house someday, because one of the stipulations for the doctor to come in and study this house was that they have a member of the family with them. Not really sure why, except for maybe to keep them from stealing shit. I don't know. But Luke is there, and he sure is there. He comes in handy when they need a guy to do heavy lifting and guy things. But otherwise, the biggest character of all is the house, as it slowly comes to hate the people staying inside of it more and more over time. And the things that it makes them see or think they see, the things that it makes them do. The house is definitely a character in itself. Now, the character that I loved, however, more than anyone was the doctor's wife. She showed up a bit later. She is a psychic. She uses things like planchette, which is essentially a Ouija board, except for instead of the board, you just put a pencil in the planchette and it writes. And she is a boss bitch, and I love her. She just shows up like a whirlwind, and she's like, this is how we're gonna do things. Get the fuck out of my way. And like, I don't care if she's wrong about everything. I love characters like that. If there is a female character who's just like, move, I am coming in, I am in your life now. I just love them. I love bossy women characters because there are not enough of them, and she spoke to my heart. If I did have problems with this book, the main ones would be that, you guys, I have found it. I found a book where I thought there should be multiple point of views when there weren't, which is super rare for me because I am normally a one point of view kind of person. I prefer books with a single point of view. I know, I'm crazy. What am I doing? This book, I really felt could have benefited from multiple points of view. It's almost exclusively in Nell's point of view. Whoops. Occasionally it goes omniscient to just like show us what the doctor is doing or show us what some of the other characters are doing, but it never like lets us into their head. So the only one who's like head we're ever in is Nell's. And while that is cool and interesting to see her and how she's dealing with the house and what she's thinking about everybody else and how they're dealing with the house, I was really kind of disappointed because I would have liked to have seen from other characters' point of view, like Theodora, for example, or the doctor, or maybe Luke to give him a little bit more personality. I really would have enjoyed that, and I'm kind of disappointed that this book did not do that. That is an advantage that the TV show has in that it utilizes all of its characters versus just the one point of view. The other complaint that I would have about this book is the ending is super abrupt. It just suddenly just goes like 0 to 60 and then bam, we have reached the end. I was just going along because I was listening to it, and I'm going along and doing my thing at work, you know, listening away. And then I was like, whoa, it's done? This is the end? It's over? What? I thought I had missed something, but no, that was the end of the book. It's very abrupt and just finished. So if you are not a fan of books that leave things unresolved or just come to a very abrupt ending, then this might not be your cup of tea. Now, a little bit about this book and the TV show. We're not going to talk about that terrible, shady movie with Owen Wilson. We're not. But the TV show is very different from this book, so do not go into this book expecting it to be like the TV show. The characters are very different, obviously, as I've just described it to you, but I did enjoy. Like, I thought I was going to be disappointed because the show is so different from the book, but I enjoyed them both in their own way, and I really enjoyed seeing all of the little things from the book that did make it into the show. I thought that was really cool to see, like the cup of stars and some of the quotes and some of the characters and their traits translated into the Netflix show, but they were very different at the same time. And just from an adaptation standpoint, it was really interesting to me to look at it and see all the ways that it was the same, the ways that it was different, the things that the show used, especially like things from the house, like the spiral staircase that I didn't realize were in the book, but then I read the book and I was like, oh, that's where that came from. So I do think that if you liked the show and you accept that this book is going to be very different with like elements in common with the show, I think you could really enjoy this book as well. It's almost like one of those games of like those finder games where it shows you a picture and you have to like find the things on the list. It kind of felt like that, except for, you know, more fun, and as I was listening to an interesting story at the same time. So have you guys read The Haunting of Hill House? What did you think of it? Comment below and let me know. As always, if you liked what you saw here but you want to see more, I've got a ton of reviews on my channel, so go check those out. They're all in handy dandy playlists for you. Super easy. I post new videos Mondays and Fridays. All the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking. And if you want what you see here to look even better, you can support me on Patreon, where all of the donations go towards getting me better equipment, plus you get a lot of exclusive content. I usually post on Tuesdays for some reason, where you get like pet bios and special videos that people here on the regular channel do not get to see. So if you want that exclusive content, definitely become my patron over on Patreon. And I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! Well, look at that. It's shout-out time again. We are here to shout out this month's patrons with Lennox, Amanda, Ashley, Celia, Jenny, Kim, Lisa, Lumore, Sabby Panda, and Sarah. And if you want to be great like these awesome people, then you can become my patron over on Patreon.